We're talking to Mr. Pierre Kuma. You're very welcome, Pierre.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Nice to have you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, so you're an author as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get into that book. I bet that you brought me something because I like gifts.
Yes,
On
I
this-
did.
on this
Oh,
side,
actually,
you do brought me.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of you on my way.
Oh, thank you. Ain't you a darling?
Thank you.
But I get to this particular one and show you how the whole setting is gung, 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 gung. So you let me put that, when I get to the gung, gung, gung part, I'll show you how to we'll check this book in that vibe. But anyway, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see you smiling.
Nice to see you too.
All right,
There's
so
a lot
take
to
us
smile
back to
about.
who you were before all of this happened. What you were doing, or not doing, where you were not, all of it.
So prior to this, I had lost my maternal grandmother,
Okay.
who wasn't just my mother's mother, but she was like, my best friend, my childhood best friend. And I just, kind of grieved over it. But she was old, so I'd gone over it with buried her and all that. And I was a project engineer in a subsea installation company. We install equipment on the seabed for oil and gas companies
Nice.
that's what helps them to produce the oil. So I was a project engineer, which meant I dealt with technical stuff and I supported my company doing bits as well. So I was doing project engineering and business development, trying to sell the company, market the company and win work. And I'm a Christian as well. So during COVID-19, I had grown a bit more closer to God. I was, spending more time in prayer, spending more time in reading the Word. And that's basically who Pierre Kuma was.
Right, so what were your goals and aspirations? I bet that, when a young man is coming up, you definitely have goals, you have aspirations, there's this zeal to do something.
Yeah.
You have them, right?
Yeah, so at that time, actually, I'd gotten to the point that I'd realized reading was important in my life.
Right.
Now, mind you, I'm an engineer. Well, not to say all engineers don't read, but I'm an engineer, so reading is not my inclination. But at the time, I realized the importance of reading in my life.
Okay, but what did you read in secondary school?
Science.
Science.
Yes.
Hey, science people, they like reading. You had this gas book big like that.
Yeah, but
It's different. So you mean reading as a novel reading?
yeah, and all
Right.
that, And I like to read stuff that was, straightforward.
Okay.
Science 1 + 1 is 2. That's the end of the story.
Okay.
But you go to English and it's perceptive and all that
You have
kind
to
of
summarize and all of that.
yeah, and
Nice.
comprehension. Like you write, the teacher asks you composition. They ask you
Yes,
to write
yes.
myself.
Myself.
And I write, and she gives me 5 over 10.
You didn't get it.
Do you know me better than I know myself?
Like I say, I enjoy rice and consumer. You say how?
Yeah. Or they ask you, how did you spend your Christmas holidays? And you write, and it's 8 over
Then
10.
you mark me down.
Were you there with me
You
during
weren't.
Christmas?
It's true.
So
True. You're making sense. I have to thought of it, and I think I have to go back and ask my English teachers why they were doing all of this. Oh, you've
Yeah.
given me something to talk about, really. Because I know how, and they say, write a letter to a friend in America explaining why you want to come for the holidays.
Yeah.
And I give you 2 reasons. I say, why?
yeah.
But I'm the one who's going to go on the trip, not you.
And they mark you 3 over 10.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true.
I'll
don't
tell you the
understand.
worst English one I had. That has more PTSD than this fire accident.
Are you serious?
This was mock exam for preparing for SSSC. And in the composition, they said, write a story that illustrates the proverb, if you live in a glass house, do
Don't
not
throw
throw
stones.
stones. So I sat there, poured my heart out, my soul, everything I had into it, and wrote it. Long story short, it gets marked. And because it's a mock exam, you get your paper back to look at it. I looked at it, and the teacher had written, the story you've written actually expresses the pot calling the kettle black.
I don't get it.
So I'm supposed to write a story
Uh-huh.
that depicts a certain proverb.
Okay.
And I
The
wrote
pot's
that,
calling the kettle black.
no, if you live in a glass house, don't
Don't
throw
throw
s-"
stones.
Then she marks me and says that what I've written depicts this proverb, this other proverb.
Okay, but that's relative. Don't throw stones. It's my story, not yours.
So you agree with me,
I
and that's
agree.
why, yeah,
I agree. We can sue these people. It's true.
yeah.
I
so,
agree.
so fast forward, I started reading self-help books. I was reading more of John Maxwell books. I was trying to grow as a person because I had realized that, the only assurance that tomorrow is going to be better is that I become a better person, I
Nice.
grow. So that was another thing that I was very focused on, just developing personal leadership, becoming more aware of myself, knowing myself better so I could grow. And this was another thing I was doing a lot.
Nice. Anyway, so before all of this happened, the accident, what was your daily routine like?
My daily routine, well, again, mind you, this was in COVID-19. So I'd wake up, just do a bit of personal hygiene, sit behind my computer.
It was around the same time that we were in lockdown.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
prior we were okay moving around until it got really
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
So this was lockdown.
So this was in lockdown. So, you
Lockdown.
know, I just wake up, and I actually liked it because I didn't have to drive to the office. I didn't have to iron a shirt and clean shoes and stuff. You know,
Right.
I just wake up in t-shirt and shorts, and no one would see me unless
You
I
can
put
even
the camera
decide to
on.
bath or not, you know. Usually nobody's checking it.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
It's just the two of us.
Okay.
You bath in the morning, by in the evening one, then you take dash.
Let's just say
We
I believe
agree.
it.
We agree. We agree. I get it. I understand. Let's go.
Yeah, so I'd wake up, you know, I'd be in meetings, discussing technical matters
Right.
of projects we need to do, sometimes supporting the people who are tendering or bidding for jobs, just providing technical input, speaking with clients, telling them, hey, can we have a virtual meeting and all that. And then, you know, somewhere in August, the restrictions were eased a bit where you could do a hybrid.
Right. You show
Sort
your
of, but-
ID cards where you're working.
Yeah.
Right.
But then it was more of meetings, phone calls, a few calculations, a few Excel spreadsheets, analysis, all for installing things on the seabed.
Wow. Okay. Now this particular question is actually going to take us in there.
Okay.
And I would have to visualize it myself.
Okay.
Now just walk us through that fateful day. How the whole thing happened.
Okay.
I mean, the fire accident. Was it
Okay.
an explosion?
Okay.
Was it a mistake? How did it happen?
Okay, so basically, I was working from home, like I said. It was lunchtime, it was midday. Kneel down by my sofa to pray for about 30 minutes. That was my habit then. And it was 30 minutes because it was during working hours, so I had to cut it short. So I finished, went to the kitchen. There was this stew I had taken out of the freezer to thaw. So I went, put it, the intention was to put my gas stove on, put the stew on, warm it up, and then, you know,
Get something to eat.
and then fulfill my desire to.
Eating. What exactly was it? Rice and stew?
No, I'm not into rice. It was the proper way of saying it. It was imami flour, also known as okra stew.
Say it well.
Imami flour.
Name me pi.
Im-
Hello, no me ehe. The mommy flour is light, it's fresh.
The one with the telephone wires.
Not like a scissors for
Yeah,
wonderful.
You know, the old telephone wires, you pick it up.
You have to cut it. If you don't cut it, you have to do the.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
wonderful.
And it would interest you to know I was going to have it with eba.
But you know, that's a very great combination.
Yeah.
I don't know why people actually, fantasize the whole banku. It has to be banku. The soft one.
Yeah.
You see, you chimi and all the bobbies will not
And
be
put a
inside.
bit of butter in it.
Thank you.
And a pinch of
then
salt.
Then it's like it is a shani, but it's not shani.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I planned this in the morning. You know, you read I'm a project management professional.
Right.
It's not just other people's projects I'm a professional of that I plan in. My own projects,
Right.
even my food. So
I didn't get it.
so I planned this in the morning.
So it was your own project. Yeah, we're working on that, Eba. Wonderful.
Yeah. So I went to put it on fire. That's the stew, the mwami flour, also known as okra stew. And I think just about putting it on, I lit the stove. Then I heard my phone ring in the hall. So I left it. I thought I had put it on. I didn't know whether I had put it on the stove or left it in the sink, but I left that place, went to the hall, picked up the phone and spoke to whoever I was. I don't even remember who it was. Then I came back, get into the kitchen. I just opened the door and I saw a flame of fire come up at me. It was bluish with a bit of amber around it.
Right. My mom would say the blue flame.
Yeah, but there was amber on the edges.
Okay, at the edges.
And I just saw it come up at me. The next memory I have was me
No, I said come up at you. Not like it lit. It actually
came up. So I just opened the door and I heard vroom, and I saw it. The next memory I have is of me getting up from the floor. So between seeing the amber and getting up from the floor, I do not have any memory of it. Now, mind you, I have not forgotten it. I have forgotten means data was there and was deleted.
Right.
But I do not, that information was never there.
Right.
So in my chronological memory, it's open the door, boom, get up from the floor.
Okay, so
So what happened in between there?
you don't remember.
No, I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
That's true.
Was
If you
never-
remember, that means there's a memory, but
Yeah.
there's a memory loss. But
Exactly.
you do not know what
No,
happened.
I do not know.
So at what point did you get up from the floor? get up from the floor?
So the memory I have
Any
is
help or
no,
it
no.
was
I got
just
up
you?
myself. I got up myself. So I
Okay.
got up and I left the kitchen. I don't know what I was thinking then, but again, the only memory I had was seeing the fire. So I think it was reflex, just leaving the kitchen. And when I was leaving the kitchen, I heard something which was like a bulb exploding. But I just left the kitchen, made my way to the front of my building. I was still in the same compound, but the front of my building. When I got there, I noticed my neighbor to my left and my neighbors to my right were outside their building as well. And I remember, or I thought I'd heard my neighbor on my left asking me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I think I need to go to the hospital." At that time, my train of thoughts was that I had seen fire. Again, nothing had happened to me as far as my mind and memory
Yeah.
was concerned. So let's
But the
just,
fact that you're able to get up and walk,
yeah,
definitely, it's just going to say like, oh, nothing
Yeah,
really happened
yeah.
to me till you settle.
yeah. So my train of thought was, oh, I've seen fire, so let's just go to the hospital just as a precautionary measure
Yeah.
to make sure nothing serious had happened. So what I thought I'd heard her say was, okay, and she entered into her building to get her car keys. So I made my way.
Okay, so they were not affected.
No,
It
no.
was just
Yeah,
you.
so they had just heard a sound and were out. That's what I found out later. So I made my way to my gate to open the gate. The intention was to get out of my compound,
Right.
get into her compound, get into her car, and then we go to the hospital. So I got to my gate, I put my hand on the lock, and then I noticed the skin on at the back of my palm, my right palm, had peeled off. Part of it had peeled off. I could see the white under it. So I couldn't open the gate.
But there was
So
no blood.
I didn't see
didn't
none
see,
that I saw.
right.
So my neighbors to my right jumped over the wall. There were two sets of them. One of them jumped and actually opened the door, the gate for me. And a couple of them I would later find out went inside to try and extinguish the fire.
Oh, so the fire was still on.
Well, I don't know
Well,
then,
you-
but
'cause you
their
had
intention was
escaped,
that. Yeah. So he opened the gate for me. One of them opened the gate. I got out of my compound. And it was then that it dawned on me that, okay, this is a bit more serious than I thought, because now I'd seen my skin peeling. At that time, I remembered my mind was thrown to a few people who I'd seen with fire scars,
Right.
scars from fires, and I was thinking, hey, am I going to look like these people? You know, that was what was
running
going
through
through
your
my mind. Because at this point now, I'd realized that, okay, this is something bigger than I thought. So eventually, she opened her gate. I went into her car and made my way to the back seat. And then she backed out of her compound and she said, I can't go alone. So she called another neighbor to her left, someone who we all knew, and he joined. And we made our way to Nyaho Medical Center.
Okay, so at this point, where were you living?
At this point, I was living at Taiman.
Taiman.
Taiman,
Okay, so you
yeah.
went to Nyaho.
Nyaho.
Okay, now let's go through the moments of realization. You know, after you had gotten to the hospital, I bet that, you know, when you sit down for a while, then it's just going to dawn on you that this is what I've actually
Yeah.
gone through.
Yeah.
So at that point of realization, what's going through your mind?
So I realized what I'd gone through. It took a bit of a longer time before I realized that. Because whilst we were in the
Even
car,
at the hospital?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because whilst we were in the car going to drive into Nyaho, I was just telling them, you know, let's pray, let's sing, and I started praying in tongues at some parts. Then
Were you in pain?
I don't remember feeling any pain
Right.
at that time. What I actually felt was I could smell myself burning.
Okay.
You know, like you're roasting,
Or
like
smoke, right.
yeah, you know, like the example I always give is, and this is not meant to be funny, but that was actually what I remember. That, you know, when we slaughter goats in Ghana,
Right. Okay.
you put it over fire to burn the hair
Yeah.
off. I could smell that smell. I still remember it till today.
Really?
Yeah, when I tell people, they find it funny, but it's not meant that. That was actually what I remembered, and I actually
So you
remember
smell that
telling.
on you?
Yeah. So I actually remember telling my neighbor that, hey, I can smell myself like a goat being roasted over fire. But then again, I don't remember feeling pain at that time. In the midst of that, I just kept praying. I was praying a bit in tongues. I was singing songs. I said, hey, let's do it together. Let's join me. So we made our way to Nyaho. All this while, at least I had remembered it was a bit more serious, but the gravity of it, I still hadn't realized that. So I was just praying and doing my singing.
So any of your neighbors were not actually looking at you in that way? Everyone was thinking, let's go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Right, so then you weren't administered any first aid or anything?
No.
Everybody just... Like,
At that point, it was, let's just
go
get him
to
to
the
the hospital.
hospital.
I think they were also a bit overwhelmed because, mind you, they could see me. I had only
Yes.
seen the back of my hand,
right.
but they could probably see the entirety of what
You
had,
had like
what had
burnt
happened.
clothes.
Apparently my clothes were in bent because
Wow.
they were still on. It was my
It was
favorite
just
pair.
your hand.
My favorite pair of shorts. I was in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, which was just about the same level. So the
Right.
parts that were bent were, but again, I didn't look at that time, so I didn't even know what was going on.
So now let's go on the point
So
of
we-
realization. Now you're at the
so
hospital.
so we got to Nyaho, and then the nurses were administering first aid. I was more consumed about singing and praying.
That's a miracle.
That was what my entire being was focused on. And I was telling the nurses to join me.
They weren't surprised?
But I didn't care what they felt. All I cared about was I was doing it, and I'm telling you, come on, let's do it together. At some point, I stopped and I remembered, I had to tell my mom this. So I told my neighbor I had to call my mom. So I gave her my mom's phone number. She dialed it on her phone. It was put on speaker. And I called and I said, I've had this little accident. So, I didn't want to scare the living daylights out of her. I was being considerate.
Right.
Even in that moment, I had to think of other people.
Even, I'm a bit, surprised because me,
Yeah.
small blood showing on my somewhere. I'm screaming hell down. And then you have your skin, you're seeing the white part, and you're asking people to sing with you.
And mind you,
You weren't scared?
I had prayed before this accident, and a part of it was in tongues, and I didn't even know what I was praying about. So
Right.
you never know. It's not.
You're a brave gentleman because I know small cats like this. My neighbors will hear. And this is an explosion again. And then you're...
I hadn't heard an explosion. They
Okay,
heard
so
it.
you had seen the fire.
Yes.
Right. So they heard it.
And that was the only memory I had. I had seen
So
fire,
let's
and
stick
I
to
got up.
Now let's stick to the blue flame and then, that's it.
That's all I knew.
Even that. You see this mark on my hand here? That's like 2-3 days ago. You see, Chibanku, yes. This one.
Yeah.
Straight up. It's like something's doing me.
But I didn't hear it on City TV.
Is it?
I didn't hear it on Channel 1.
That's something.
So maybe it wasn't loud enough. Maybe your screams weren't loud
But
enough.
even this one says, my neighbors come and ask me that.
What happened? Okay.
So for you to actually get to the hospital and still ask the next distinguished people, that's something. You're a brave chap.
I don't call it bravery. Maybe it's just I can't explain it.
Well,
Maybe.
you won't call it that. I'm calling it that today.
okay.
You're
Thank you.
brave because you can actually smell yourself burn.
Yeah.
And you're still singing, or it is
singing-
well with my soul.
One of
Which
the
were you
songs I
singing?
was singing was "Aye, re, aye, re,
Oh.
aye, yeah, that was one of the songs, especially in the car. That was
I think that's why, because
what I was singing.
the nurses, they would have seen something that day.
I think the nurses were a bit shocked. I
Yes,
think so.
that's
Because
what
we're
I
like,
was not surprised.
this guy is like, and
Yeah.
again, I didn't know the extent. Of course, I knew it was serious, but I didn't know the extent of it. So they are probably looking at it and thinking, what's wrong with this guy? Oh, but it gets worse.
Well, I would have said, okay, now let's go.
So I told my mom, something small had happened, and that was it. So I was in the treatment room, and then the doctor came in and told me, hey, I realized there was no hair in your nose. So I suspect you've inhaled some of the fire or heat or gases. Now, we don't have the capacity to deal with that here. So I'm transferring you to a place where they can deal with that.
Okay.
Just when he said that, in what seemed like a couple of seconds, I was wheeled into the back of an ambulance.
Okay.
We'd been transferred to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. I didn't know that. All I knew was I had an injury they couldn't deal with. They are transferring me to a place they could deal with. So I went to the back of the ambulance. My neighbor, one of my neighbors, so there were two of them. One of my neighbors was by me at the back. The other one sat by the driver. Again, in what felt like a few minutes, where I would later get to know to be the National Reconstructive Plastic Surgery and Burn Center at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Wow.
So we got there, the door was open, and I remember my mother coming to me, and I don't remember what she said. She said something.
Okay, so at this point, was it getting worse?
So I
So
would
the
later find out.
realization was-
I would, again, at this point, I didn't even realize what was going on. I think,
Okay.
I don't exactly know what I wasn't thinking too much of the accident itself at this time.
What were you thinking of?
I don't even know what I was thinking. I think I was just doing my singing and praising
Singing.
and all that. So I was wheeled out, I was taken into the center, I was put in front of the male Ben's ward, and nurses, doctors came asking, they need to take your details.
Were they rushing on you?
No,
Like,
I didn't feel.
It looked like it was an emergency.
Not from my point of view. After later discussions, I realized, everybody was helter-skelter, but I didn't realize that.
You're brave.
What I knew was, somebody would come and ask me.
You go.
Somebody would come and ask me, oh, what's your name? How old are you? What's your date of birth? So I knew, they were asking for a good reason. Okay. Somebody was asking what happened. But at that time, I didn't know who was who. I didn't know who was a doctor, who was a nurse. I just knew it was a bunch of people asking me questions. And then I saw my cousin who had come in there. And then I called him and we had a brief discussion. I said, oh, I was trying to get some food to eat and that's why I'm here and blah, blah, blah. So after some time, I was being wheeled into the theater. I wasn't sure if I knew where I was going.
Same day?
Yeah, this was same day, a few minutes later. Well, I had lost a bit of the sense of time, so I really didn't know. So I got wheeled, and at some point, the trolley stopped, they stopped moving. And all I remember was I said, oh, let's hold hands and pray. That's the last thing I remember. The next thing was me waking up in the ICU. I didn't know it was the ICU. Intensive care unit. Yeah. And when I woke up, I saw two people standing in front of me.
So now let's say that when you woke up, probably you had gone through a little bit of surgery.
Yeah, I'd gone through. So they had to intubate me because of the gases. They call it inhalational injury.
Okay.
And the issue is that I inhaled hot, noxious gases, which had gone into my airways. And what would happen was that with time, based on the heat, there would be inflammation and it could swell and block my airway. And then I wouldn't be able to breathe, and then it would be too hard to say goodbye to what we had. Oh,
goodbye. You say kiss and say goodbye.
Yeah.
No, we're not supposed to be laughing about this one. This kiss and say goodbye, we're not supposed to be laughing
Okay.
So let's pause.
Okay.
And take body,
okay.
Come back to action.
No problem.
It's proper. Okay, we're ready?
Yeah.
All right. But I'm going to take a break. Whilst we are taking all the smiles off our face to get into the treatment and all the things that went on in the hospital. You're still on the Friends and Family Show, and I'm talking to Pierre Kuma today, who's actually survived a fire accident. My name is Noyo Korte. I'll be right back.
In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. Work is always effective with NASCO Home Appliances. Classic home appliance for the fisher folks. And Nijepa, I want NASCO feel. NASCO, bring home happiness.
You say nothing yet. This Big Brother Naija Season 10. It's 10 times the drama, 10 times the rivalry, and 10 times the game. This is certified. No zero, no minus. Big Brother Naija Season 10. Showing 24/7 on DSTV and on GoTV. Gold sponsor, Guinness.
All right, welcome back to the Friends and Family Show, always live on Channel 1 TV. And we're talking about surviving a fire accident. And in my studio today, I have Pierre Kuma. I'm actually enjoying the conversation, although he's, running us through all of this, everything that happened, the accident and everything. And I am still saying that he's a very brave gentleman, because for him to be holding up high spirits like that, at the point that you have actually, gone through something like this, I would be screaming heaven and hell down. I know at some point you don't remember certain things, or it's just not there. But the ones I remember, Kabadosha, Lord have mercy. Going through that and still being in high spirits, sometimes the process alone is actually going to scare you, to the extent that even when they say, do this, go shake baby, they say, pass here, you say, what is this? And then you are actually looking or thinking ahead. That's how we But for this kind of stature, I love it. So we're in Yahoo. No, we've moved from Yahoo to Kolebu.
Intensive care unit.
And then now you're in ICU.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's move on from there. I'm enjoying the conversation, but it's hard to say Musun Shang.
Yeah, but you know, it's interesting that you're saying it's a bit funny as well, because I remember, sorry, I'm jumping a bit, but I'll come back.
Okay, it's fine.
But I remember one of the things my family and I consoled ourselves with was the fact that we will laugh over this one day.
Right.
And I'm glad today I get to laugh over it as well, you know. But yeah, so I woke up in the ICU and I saw two people standing in front of me who I would later learn to be one was a nurse, one was a medical officer.
Okay.
And the first thing I said was, please read me a bedtime story.
You say?
Please read me a bedtime story.
Hey, you have some kind of spirits.
Now, I don't know why I said that.
Were
I
you
have
sleepy?
no idea.
Did you want to sleep? Or you just wanted to hear someone say something to you?
I don't know why.
Did they tell you how long you were out?
No.
They didn't tell you.
But all I knew was during those periods, I didn't know when I slept and when I woke up. Yeah.
Okay.
But the first thing I remember saying was, someone should read me bedtime stories. And I like to put it on record that I've never had these books read to me before. I've had the bedtime story books that I read.
But not anyone
during
reading it out to you.
During the daytime. But you know those things when you watch the movie and maybe you do it for your children where you sit by them, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and they did this. And then the next scene is, oh, they are asleep. No, I didn't have any of that privilege.
So you wanted to experience that?
I don't know why. I don't know why I said that, but that was what I said.
Settings, just setting that time.
Like I said, I never had those things. I had all those nice books, you know, Lady Bird story books that were pictures, Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, and all those nice things. And I read them during the daytime, not when I was about to sleep.
Oh, you read those books during the daytime?
Yes, nobody read them for me.
Did you enjoy reading them? Like as in when you were a child or?
Oh, yeah.
Now?
I did. No, I don't read them.
Yeah, that's what I was at. I said, oh, so you are reading it to yourself?
No, I was just taking you back to my childhood. Okay. That, you know.
Because I'll be 8. I say, 8, brother.
No. Oh, no. So it's good you're asking for the clarity. I'm glad you're actually asking me for it, you know, rather than assuming, you know. Yeah. So I said that and that was the first day. But subsequent days, I never knew when I woke up and when I slept. All I knew was, you know, sometimes I'll wake up and I see my mom by myself, my uncle, my auntie, my cousin, you know, and I had a tube through which I was fed. I was on a ventilator.
Okay.
So that the first surgery that was done, they call it intubation. And because of the inhalational injury I had, they had to pass a tube down through my mouth and through the entire breathing.
To feed you.
To make sure that when the inhalation comes, it won't close up, and then to assist me in breathing. So I was on a ventilator. At this point, I couldn't do anything for myself, you know. Well, I lie when I say that. There were a few things I could do for myself. I could bat my eyelids open. My stomach could digest my own food.
Okay.
I had my mind, so I could think a bit.
Were you able to move?
No,
Legs?
I had to start doing physiotherapy.
Okay, we'll get there.
To start moving and all that. So at this time, someone decided when I ate and what I ate and how much of it I ate.
A little of light things, or you were eating with...
No, at this time, for the first couple of weeks, there was no space even in my mouth to take food. So I had a tube, they call it an NG tube, gastric tube, which was passed through my nose. And from experience, they know everyone's height and where your stomach should end. Right. So they know what length they pass through it. And then they put what they call the fortified food. So it's something that's filled with nutrients and whey protein. And then they put it through a syringe and they push it down through your...
So you weren't feeling like you needed to eat anything? You weren't
No, so I wasn't eating mummy fly and those things. I wasn't eating all that, yeah. No.
Tea who?
No. Oh, I'm not a tea person.
No,
I didn't get any of those. No.
Hey.
Well, even if come a pot cry, they put it through the tube, so it didn't touch my tongue. Yeah. I was hard life. Those were one of the difficult moments.
How many days? 142.
No. This was the intubation part. So this was like about 3 weeks and 3 to 4 weeks ish. You know.
Wow.
But you know, I was 34 then, so for a grown man, somebody would determine when I eat, what I eat.
So they give you quality.
Yeah.
Quality.
Yeah.
What are sugar?
No, they call it fortified food. So I don't know what
what's
goes
in
into it, but they make sure the right nutrients are in there, and they mix it with whey protein.
Hey.
So I wasn't a bodybuilder, but I was taking a lot of whey protein at that time.
Body protein shake.
Yeah. Smoothie.
Okay.
And someone else decided when I had to eat and all that, I needed someone to brush my teeth for me.
Wow.
Then I had to go through physiotherapy to help me regain motor functions. And
Okay, so how long did you stay in the ICU?
I was in
All
the
this
ICU
while you
for
were
a
there?
total of 6 weeks.
Okay.
But after 4 weeks, I was in a state where they could get me out. But I stayed an extra 2 weeks for precautionary measures because there had been times when they thought, I was stable, and they were extubated and the parameters are not looking good, and then they'll re-intubate me. So the nurses were telling me that this was done about 3 times.
So you're going in and out?
They'll take the tubes out thinking I'm stable, I don't need a ventilator any longer. They'll take it out and my parameters were really not.
Really
I was in
well.
the ICU, like those things you watch on movies, and this is not funny, but those lines that are
You want to do
really, and then when it goes straight, that, yeah, it's bad.
Outdoor.
So I had all those things on my chest which were consistently monitoring my.
Well, I think they put on.
Yeah, I had about
Okay.
4 or 5 of them. They were all measuring all kinds of things, and then I had the tubes and all that were into my system. So those times I couldn't even talk because I think my mouth was filled with so many things. So I would.
Did you feel sore?
No, not really. Well, so as part of it, they had if you look at my neck, there are some marks there. They installed what they call the central line there. And you have your jugular there, one of the biggest veins. So they put an equipment in there that taps into your veins. And through that, they can give you some medication that need to go straight into the bloodstream. When they need to draw a blood sample, there's one where they pull it on. When they need to transfuse, there's one that they go in there. So I was on painkillers as well, high-level painkillers, which helped to keep the pain down.
All
So
the
I
pain.
didn't feel a lot of pain then. But then those times I would think I'm speaking or saying something, but nobody could hear a thing.
Really?
Yeah. And so
But you knew what you were saying.
yeah, I still had my mind. So when I was awake, I still knew what was going on. So I remember there was one time I needed to communicate something. I had to scribble in the air. And there was one time I think I asked for a pen and paper and wrote something. I wish they had that. I don't know where it is any longer, but somehow they managed to understand what I was saying. Because remember I said my grandmother had died. And I took it upon myself to work on her tombstone. So whilst I was there, I had to hand over that to my cousin.
Oh, right.
So I was able to remember that and told my mom that, hey, please call this person.
You're an only child.
Well, from my mom, yeah. But
Was that what your maternal grandmother?
yeah.
That's where you're connected.
Well, she had a hand in raising all of us. But yeah, she was my,
Yeah.
no, my grandmother is, there. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Now let's. Now you spent quite a number of days in the hospital.
Yes.
Although the first 6 weeks was ICU, and
Yes.
then the rest of it you came to the ward. Now
Yes.
they had to take care of you.
Yes.
Were you bandaged? Now everything is covered.
Yes.
So now you, at some point, you're going to accept that this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the emotional toll it had on you.
Yeah. So prior to the accident, I live on my own. I do everything on my own. All of a sudden, I'm in a position where I can't even get up, I can't even move. Well, I had to learn how to walk.
All over again.
Yeah, so it wasn't something like if I felt like leaving, I'll just,
Get up and
like when we're done with this interview, I'll just get up and walk without even thinking about it.
But you couldn't.
But I couldn't. And, I'm alone, I do everything alone. Now, even brushing my teeth, something as basic as brushing my teeth, someone has to do that for me. I was at a point when I started eating banku and ingmami flour, I could eat that. Someone had to feed me. Someone had to pick it up and put it in my mouth.
So now they have to take it back.
No, I couldn't even, there was a point where I couldn't even do it. I had to learn how to use the spoon again, and it had to be padded because I couldn't get a full grip.
Grab it, right.
Yeah, and when I was going to eat banku, someone had to cut it into pieces for me because the strength and the motor function wasn't there to even cut it. So,
Banku wa follow. Mini banku akawale ko. I look a fork.
awale.
Oh.
But I still had banku and ingmami flour. So,
Well, that's why it suits your soul.
so
because,
at least not all was lost.
Compensate, not all was lost.
And I
It's
could
true.
have the ingmami flour again. That was,
She needed no draw.
yeah. I took back what the devil stole from me. Yeah, so no.
He said I took the baku, the devil stole from me.
Yeah. Then mommy floored that the devil stole from me. I was able to take it back. But yeah, so those were some of the lowest moments that, you know, you're living on your own, you do everything by yourself, and all of a sudden, the most basic human functions, you need someone to assist you in doing it.
Okay, so I have a couple of messages. I'll take them real quick, then we'll get on with
That's
it.
fine.
Good evening to you, Noyo. How are you? I'm very well. Thank you for asking. For me, I'm not too well. He's been through a lot. It's rather unfortunate. Quite remember I had a cut on my leg, which had left me a mark on my leg, especially few pains during the rainy seasons. You see what I'm saying? A very minor one. It's electric shock inside us. Hello now. Good evening. This is Roberta Osabute, and I'm really enjoying the show with my family. Mr. Pierre Kuma is a very brave man and has a very good sense of humor. Exactly. I think so as well. Because I think that I would be actually having this conversation without tears in my eyes. I will break just emotional damage in my system. God bless him. Thank God for his life. We really do thank God for your life. Yeah, for the fact that in the beginning you were actually thankful and you're full of praises. That's really something, you know? That's really something, because I don't think that I would have had
in all things give thanks, so maybe
I'm sorry,
that's
give thanks in all things.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
true.
that's what I was thinking of.
It's true. We have to give thanks in all things. But anyway, now, yeah, the whole thing is dawned on you. Yeah. Like you're saying, you actually had to eat, and then people had to help you. So how long did it take? Because your fingers had was it your hands that's got the most bend?
There were various degrees. So
okay,
because I was in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, every part that was exposed got bent. So from this level of my arm all the way to the fingers on both arms, from my knee I was in a pair of shorts. So from knee to, and my face also got bent as well, but it was various degrees.
Okay.
So my face wasn't so deep, but on my legs they classify the bends. These days they don't use second and third degree. They say, you know, partial thickness, superficial, and full thickness. So on places like my legs, there were like full thickness burns.
Okay, so they had to do some surgery to salvage the rest of the skin.
Well, they had to do. No, it wasn't salvage. Like on my legs, they were all gone. So they basically cut the skin from my thighs.
I'm sorry?
They cut the skin from my thighs and pasted it on my legs. You know, like cut and paste, like you do on a computer. You cut from here and you paste here.
So the mark, the cut mark, they.
Yes, they are there. Yeah, on my thighs, both of my thighs. That's skin grafting.
So that's because there was nothing at all on your leg.
Nothing. The full skin thickness were gone.
And you walked to your gate.
Well, at that time, I can't explain. Maybe it's adrenaline. Maybe it's the grace of God. It's a combination. There are things I can't explain. Yeah. And it's the same on my arms as well. So everything you see here is skin graft. It's cut from my thighs and pasted here.
Were you like a really thick person, or you've always been about the size?
Just about the size, plus or minus a few. You know, sometimes when I eat too much, But this is just
you eat too much.
When I eat too much, sometimes, or I don't exercise, then yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just about this.
Just about the size.
Yeah.
You're one brave human being.
That's a miracle. It's by the grace of God. That's
so,
all I can say.
Like I read in the intro, it was a span 142 days, entirety.
Over 100. Because I had to. So the first stint was 142. Then I was discharged. Well, I stayed home for, I think, over a year, and then some of the wounds weren't healing, so I had to go back into the hospital for a skin graft, for a final skin graft. So that's why I usually say it's over 142. But it was 142. For the first stint. It was 11th of August till the 31st of December. I got discharged on the 31st of December. So I had Christmas Day in the hospital. That's why you see that picture there with the red cap. That was Christmas Day.
So they brought you, that.
This was Christmas Day.
What about your face? It doesn't look like that now.
Yeah.
Oh, you have been through it. Okay, see the skin.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling on this day when they brought you the Christmas hat?
That was great to have it on. Now, mind you, at this point, I had grown to become more thankful. This was when I was in the main ward.
Okay, so you had moved from the ICU.
Yes. And the reason why I had grown to become more thankful, well, there were times I still felt a bit bad. But what happened was when I was discharged from the ICU to the main ward, every now and then, at the time, my last few days in the ICU, there was a child that came there. He was 3 years old. I left and I realized I was told he's passed away.
Oh.
Then
Did
someone
they come
else
with the
came.
same like bands or?
Yeah, he also came with burns. Then someone else came there. Then the next thing I heard, he'd passed away. So there was one morning I was on my bed. And at that time I was still struggling to move. I couldn't move. I couldn't do much on my own. And I heard someone else had also passed. And this was about the 4th or 5th person. It was then that morning that it dawned on me that, wait, okay, it's not normal to
be here,
go to the ICU and walk out. You know, you would come out, but, you know, to the mortuary. So it was that time, that morning. I remember I was around between 7 and 8 a.m. in the morning that it dawned on me that getting out of the ICU is not normal.
It's not normal.
Getting out alive is not normal. So that morning there, I said, God, I thank you that I'm still alive. Forgive me for all my complaints. So there were times when, things were not good, but I was glad I was still alive because I'd seen people come in with far less complications and they'd gone. And I was still alive.
Right.
So at this point, most likely I was still alive. I was still glad I was alive.
You were entirely covered.
Yeah, this was in the ICU. The other one was in the ICU. This one, yeah.
This was the ICU.
Yeah. This was the first time I came out of the ICU.
Okay.
So I was able to be moved into a wheelchair.
And the thing, you looked a bit buff.
Yeah.
The balcony.
No, that's all the bandage that they needed to put on
No,
my.
like your cheeks.
Oh, okay. Oh, my cheeks, I've always had it. You know.
You've always had it.
Yeah, I've always had it. You know. They never go down. The rest of the body can. I can lose belly fat faster than I can lose them.
So you see when you're growing up, they give you nickname pie, or they didn't give you pie.
Oh, no, I did. Oh, there were. I can't forget. Somebody told me I had a meaty face.
A meaty face? What's that supposed to mean?
So there's a lot of meat on my
What
face.
really mean, no? Okay, just somebody's got a meaty face, but
Yeah.
you're not supposed to have a bony face.
You say, hey, meaty face, come here.
Then we act pie.
Also, the cheeks, I've always had it. I think now that I'm maybe older, it's
Like
reduced a
yours
bit.
is
Yeah.
shrinking.
When I was younger, I looked like a bulldog.
Hey. So yours, I'm good. Yours is not.
Oh no, yours is nothing
Yours-
compared. Oh well, no. When you talk
No, I
about
say
my
I'm
cheeks,
sarcastic, but yours, there's a heavy weight here, me.
no, my cheeks were literally. I'm not talking about. Not figuratively.
So like was
Yeah,
it
that-
dropping, or was both floats stuffed?
It was buffaloed, yeah.
It was both floats.
With the dimples as well.
Anyway, now let's talk about, at what moments did you feel like, you have shifted from survival to actually thriving? There's going to be like, oh, at this point, I'm just trying to survive. Now you've gone, I think it should be from the ICU
Yeah. So.
or little after.
So there were two moments in the ICU. There was one moment where I've been told, this was a Monday dawn, and I've been told a week before that they think I'm stable. They are planning to extubate me, which is take the tube out, and I'll breathe on my own. And that Monday dawn, all of a sudden, I was struggling to breathe.
Oh.
So they called the specialist who was on call. And whilst he was making his way there, I thought, could this be it? And I made peace in my heart. I don't remember actually praying about it, but I made peace in my heart that, if this was the end of the road,
But were you at some point scared?
there were weird dreams I would have every day. So I wouldn't say I was scared. I was a bit concerned. Whilst in the ICU, I wasn't so bothered if I died, but I was concerned that I was going to die without fulfilling my purpose on earth.
Right.
I just felt there was something in me. There was unfinished business I had to do. So my main concern was, like, I'm not ready to die. Like, there's a lot I need to do.
Were there moments that you cried? No, there are two different things, crying and wailing. Which one did you do?
The crying, I did more crying when I was in the main ward.
Okay, like
Yeah.
after you had come out of the ICU.
Yeah.
But did you wail?
Well, in the ICU, I don't remember if I did cry. None that I remember. Maybe I did, but in the main ward, I do remember crying.
Well, I'll take one more message. You're still on the Friends and Family Show on Channel 1 TV. I'm talking to Mr. Pierre Kuma, who survived a fire accident. And, he's trying to make the whole conversation a bit calm, easy, and nice. But I know deep down that you're feeling something. Well, I am. And I really can't show because the camera is on me because otherwise this is like So I mean, like something is passing through me, but as composure. Yeah. This one here says, I still can't believe he's the one I'm seeing from the image. Yeah.
Well,
I still say.
I wasn't born a twin. It was just me, so it's the same picture you're seeing. It's not my twin, but it's not my younger brother. Like I said, it's just me. So
Yeah. But that's because, like, there's been so much improvement. It's been like 5 years?
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
5 years.
Last Monday was 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So much improvement. Do you feel better?
It's called grace and mercy.
It's true.
That's all. Grace and mercy. That's all.
So we're talking about the crying and the wailing. You never cried. You never wailed.
I cried. I remember, prior to the accident, I hardly shed tears. The discipline I got, in my younger years had taken all the tears I had in me. So, as an older person, I felt hurt and pain, but I never shed tears. But during this accident and when I was in the hospital, there were times I cried, and a lot of it was during wound dressing. I screamed the living daylights out of my life. Like, there were screams I never knew I had in myself. I'm sure if you put a keyboard there, I would exceed the 8th octave.
The highest note.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was during wound dressing, and it wasn't, they administered the, painkillers and enough to try and do, but yeah, I could still feel it.
All right, now let's do this real quick. What practical changes did you actually make to actually rebuild your life? Now, this is, you had come out of the hospital.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to go through physio?
I came out on the 31st. So I still went to physio till I think somewhere in September 2021. Roughly, that's the vague memory I have.
That's like 9 months.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Wow.
Because I had to do what you call rehab. So at this time I was walking a bit. It took a while, then I started driving, still with bandages and all that.
Oh, brave.
Then I had to get on a treadmill.
Of
course, not at fast speed, but then I had to get on an exercise bike. Then I had to do it wasn't your squats you do at the gym, but to be able to get up and bend the knee, because all these were difficult. The issue with bends is that it puts the body in a shock, in a state of shock. So one of the things that easily gets affected is mobility. So the challenge with bends is that the wounds you see are just a tip of the iceberg. It goes in to affect internal organs. It's part of the reasons why I had the 12 blood transfusions.
12?
Yeah, 12 times, yeah. Because it affects the red, I think it's the red or the white blood cells. Please forgive me if you can hear this.
One of them.
Yeah.
The blood cells.
Yeah, the blood cells. And so you keep losing, your hemoglobin levels keeps dropping. And it was explained to me that sometimes it even goes to affect the bone marrow, which is the production unit. So what they call the HB kept dropping. And prior to that, I work offshore, and every 2 years you do medical exam, which includes a blood test. And every time I would see it, I never paid attention to it. It gets to the doctor, he says, you're qualified, and that's it. But all of a sudden, this was something I had to start looking at to pay attention. Yeah. I mean, I collapsed about 3 times in the hospital.
Because the blood level dropped.
Because the blood level drops. And then that also meant that your energy levels were significantly low as well. So that also was a contributory factor to the reduction in mobility. But the reduction in the mobility is a challenge for all Ben's patients. And physiotherapy is what helps you to overcome that and regain.
Okay, so now let's talk about the book, because you've gone through all of this, and now you're turning all of this, tragedy into all of that. Now let's talk about this book that you have, that you have actually brought me. One piece. You want to laugh, you laugh.
No comments.
Now let's talk about this book.
Yeah.
At what point did you decide to write the book?
Ooh. I don't remember the exact time, but I started working on it in 2023. I think it was in January 2023. So the reason was, now a little, let me go back slightly to the explanation of burns. So I had 39% of my total body surface area covered in burns. Now there are various ways of assessing the severity of burns. Some school of thought say that anything 15% total body surface area and above is life-threatening. Some people also say 20%. Some also go as far as saying 30%. So at 39%,
And then you've crossed it.
irrespective of which method you were using, yeah, I was more closer to the other side than here. So that was one thing that was on its own enough to take me to the Lord. Then he had that inhalational injury,
That's another thing.
which
on
was
its own.
attacking my breathing. And if you can't breathe,
That's it.
so that on its own as well was enough to do the job. Now this was in the midst of COVID-19.
Yeah.
This was August. And so you had three different things that on their own
Can take you away.
can take me away, but you had these three combined, and then they all brought in their various complications.
Right. Now I understand.
So surviving this, it's, and I don't say it for the fun of it, but we read stories in the Bible. One of the doctors told me I cheated death, and he wasn't joking. There were many, many times that, there was one time that I remember that I thought, hey, this could be it. So I thought that, when you read things in the Bible, like Jesus raising people from the dead, this is a 21st century real one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so there was one time I felt, I need to share this a lot with people. And then I also remember the verse in Mark chapter 5, verse 19 to 20, which says, Jesus did not let him, but said, go home to your own people, tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how much he has had mercy on you. In verse 20, I paraphrase, it says, he went around telling to the couplers, telling people, and everyone was amazed. This was one guy Jesus had, cast out the legion of demons from. And he wanted to follow Jesus to where Jesus was physically going. Jesus said, no,
go
go.
back.
It wasn't to say stop the relationship, but Jesus was interested in him telling people what Jesus had done for him. So that inspired me that, I need to tell people what the Lord has done for me.
Okay, so the title of the book is The Stench of Good News?
Yes.
Nice. And it says a story of faith, hope, and resilience. Do you have a chapter in it that you love?
Ooh.
Do you have a favorite chapter?
Is that a trick question?
Oh, you wrote it. So do you have a...
Yes, you asking me to pick one. Okay, I can tell you a favorite chapter.
Okay, what's your favorite chapter? Because I was hoping it's...
This is in chapter...
So this is the book. It's titled The Stench of Good News. And it has a story of faith, hope, and resilience. And the author is my guest here, Pierre Kuma. It's a really nice one. I like the artwork on it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I love it.
So
that's like a covered in bandage.
Yeah,
Just
so
as-
was the stench. So this is not an accurate medical representation, but
Okay.
this is to illustrate the title. It says the stench. So it means you've lost everything and only the smell.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's
is that
me.
photo of you?
Yeah, I had to sit
That's
down
beautiful.
and be tied in a bandage and
And then take a photo.
just for the cover of the book.
That's smart.
Yeah, it was my
Yeah,
designer.
that's smart. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really nice.
Thank you.
It's impressive. So your chapter?
I would like to say thank you as if I designed it. But
I'm sorry?
I was saying thank you as if I designed it. I'm saying thank you on his behalf.
But it was your idea, no?
No,
Or
it was
his
his idea.
It
He's
was-
called Frank Senor Tamaklo.
Okay, Frank, thank you very much for this piece, this particular. It makes the book really, like you can tell what it's about,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's your favorite chapter? I'm not leaving that
I
question.
think it's chapter 10.
Okay,
I
chapter
know what
10.
the story is about, but hang on a bit. 6, 7, no, it's chapter 9.
Okay, chapter
Chapter 9.
3.
Chapter 9. Yeah.
Chapter 9.
Yes.
Oh, you've got pictures of you in there as
Yes.
well.
Chapter 10 is why I wrote the book, but this is in chapter 9.
Okay, this is 7. Chapter 8. Oh, won't show you more. Chapter 9. I'm there.
What's the
So
title?
it's titled A New Mindset.
Okay,
That's it?
a new mindset. I think so. I think
Yeah,
that
a
should be
new
it.
mindset. Just a transformation.
Yeah.
I wish I could read something out of here, but we have
ahead.
just a minute to go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I believe it's fair to say I've been given a second chance at life. My story often brings to mind King Hezekiah in 2 Kings chapter 20, verse 1 to 10, how God extended his life by 15 years after a terminal illness.
Yeah,
That's actually, in a way, summarizes your life as well.
exactly.
Thank you so much. So this is for me.
Yes, for you.
Well, it comes to the pen as well. So when I'm writing, I'm jotting things. And this one is the one they used to block the page, eh?
A bookmark, yes.
A bookmark.
And this also, that inscription is the summary of why I'm writing the
Yeah.
book.
Truly, there is no depth too great for God to reach. And there is no situation so hopeless that God cannot turn it around. In Jesus' name. Amen.
That's all I'm trying to say with this book.
That's all. The message is loud and clear. Thank you very much, Pierre. Thank you. I'm definitely going to give you a hug when I get out of DC. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. It has been Friends and Family Show, always live on Channel 1 TV. My name is Noyo Quarty. I'll be back tomorrow, same time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah.